Hi there, thank you for tuning into this video. My name is Shia and thank you for visiting this channel and all your support as well. Today I want to share about our shadows. So our shadow side of ourselves and what that means, and a little bit about how to work through them. If you are feeling stuck in an area of your life, if you feel like you haven't really moved on, kind of feel in a state of stasis, feeling stuck in some part of your life or just in general in your life, it might be a sign that it is about time to work through your shadow. And when I say shadow, well, in the spiritual community, shadows can refer to our fear, so our deepest fears. In psychology, Carl Jung talks about shadow as the unconscious side of ourselves that has been repressed in some ways due to the society, the conditioning, and such. So this is what I mean when I'm referring to the word shadow. So our fears. So there are a variety of different types of fears. Fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of loss, fear of failure. And it's important to realize that all of these fears also have the opposite side of the pole. So if there is some sort of fear of loss in your awareness, then there is probably going to be unconscious fear of gain. If there is fear of failure, there is unconscious fear of success. Fear of rejection, then there may be fear of complete acceptance. Fear of being seen, fear of being unseen. It's really about navigating those two sides of the polar opposites to kind of bring ourselves to that state of balance and integration. So again, if you are feeling stuck in your life currently, and if you feel as if you haven't moved on for a long time, then it's probably a sign for you to examine some of your underlying fears within your awareness, within your consciousness, and really contemplate on how to work through those fears, the shadow sides of us. So it's about facing our fears rather than fighting our fears. And the reason why I personally don't like to use the word fight or fear is because it sort of implies the idea that we are powerless in the process of working through our fears, when in fact, when we're consciously working through our fears, we are actually very conscious and aware and powerful in the way that we work through it and overcome our fears. It's important to realize that the process of working through our fears, overcoming our fears, and letting go of that social conditioning is actually very powerful. And each moment and process of our overcoming is very much about the conscious choices that we make, and also being aware of our emotional and thought responses during that process. Whereas when we're to fight our fears, it feels as though we are losing all our power and just merely needing to go fight off some fear. And it's not really what it's been like for me in my personal journey in terms of working through fear itself. So I want to share a recent dream that I had that really elicited the idea of overcoming fear and recognizing some areas that I can continue to work on in my personal life within the topic of fear and our shadow. So I had a dream of going to a restaurant, and it was like a buffet restaurant, and all my friends were getting their food and eating and getting their second rounds, and I was there with them. But every time I would try to get food, this young man or this young boy was constantly distracting me. He would push me, he would get really close to me as if he was trying to get my attention, and constantly talk to me, just doing everything that he can to get my attention away from me being able to get the food, consume the food, and enjoy the moment, and get the nutrition, and etc. So it was a very stressful dream in a way, because I saw all my friends getting their second rounds, third rounds, and I was just holding this bag of food that I had collected, but I did not have time to actually eat and consume the food. So I woke up and I journaled a little bit, and I thought about what this could mean. The message that I received had to do with overcoming my fears. So Carl Jung talks about every person, thing, place in your dream is actually a representation of your inner world. So every character in my dream can also represent a part of my psyche. And from this standpoint, I realized that that young boy or young man was also a representation of my inner self, a part of myself. And in that way, I perceived him as a fear part of me. When I tried to tune into this character in my dream, I could feel that he felt very lost. He felt very distracted, not really knowing what he's doing, not really knowing where to put his power or channel his power. And in that way, he was constantly channeling it to me and distracting me from my own process of growth, and in the dream of eating my food. So I associated this my own fear of feeling lost, and fear of unknown. And this is also a part of a really common social conditioning that a lot of people live with within their awareness, is that everything needs to be known, things have to be planned, and we need to know exactly what we are doing in order for us to feel okay. And this dream really had me focus on this preconceived idea, this conditioning, and that it was about time for me to let this go. I recently made a video about life's ups and downs and how that process can actually be a way of our growth, rather than seeing the down moments of our life as something negative and powerless. I will put the link above and also in the comment section in case you're interested in this video. And so it was about ups and downs of our lives, and for us to become more aware of the fact that ups and downs are a natural process of our growth. And I also feel like the down moments of our life is correlated with the fear component of our life. So a lot of the times when we are feeling down, it's associated with our emotions, our thoughts, and our beliefs that are causing us to feel down. And without any kind of interpretation or conditioning or idea of how to perceive that down moment of our life, it would simply be an event. For example, let's say you have lost a very, very, very good friend of yours, and that causes you a lot of depression because it meant a lot for you. This friend represented a big part of your life. This friend represented something that was important to you, and therefore loss of this friend is a very, very depressing thing, and it causes you to feel very down, and then you kind of go into that down phase of your life. And when you look at it from a step back, the event itself is simply an event. A person that you truly value in your life simply moves forward with his or her life. And this is a point where I like to say people come in and out of our lives, where if we are to see ourselves on a train, people come on the train, and in certain stations they get off the train. This can be seen as a natural flow of our life, yet it is our emotions and thoughts and our interpretations that kind of puts a bunch of layers and meaning and emotions onto that event itself that causes us to see something as a positive or negative, or up moment or down moment of our life. So it also has a lot to do with fear component in the way that we interpret our world around us. So again, if you are someone who's feeling really stuck in your life, you feel like you have been repeating the same pattern over and over again in whatever area in your life it might be, then it might be a great opportunity for you to start pondering upon your fears, your shadow self, and to really observe them and acknowledge them, importantly, and find ways to work through your shadow, your fears. And when we're able to do that, then we're really shifting away, shifting out of our continuous pattern of life, pattern of manifestations, continuous pattern of our thought processes, our beliefs, our emotions that we continue to create over and over again without realizing. So I wanted to share this message with you today because it really came strongly to me as well. If you have any questions about any of the concepts that I discussed, or if you want to chat about it, you can comment below, you can DM me. I will put my contact above. And until then, I wish you a wonderful day and thank you for tuning into this video. I hope this video was helpful for you in some way in your own journey. Feel free to subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more information like this. And until then, I'll see you next time. Thank you.